afternoon. Welcome to the June energy forecast. I am so pumped to share this forecast with you guys. This is going to be one of my personal favorite energies. I love this energy, and I really want to share with you why, what's coming up this month, and how you can use this energy to position yourself to be supported. The reason I do these forecasts every single month and then typically most weeks is because there are energetic currents all around us, and they are here to support us. And if we are willing to lean into the support that they're providing us, we can be supported. We can receive that energetic support to help us create the life we want to live, to help us lean into opportunities, to help us feel fulfilled in our desires, in the values that we want to live and uphold in the experiences we have day-to-day life. But this is not a passive experience. This is active. You get to choose if this is what you want. You get to decide. And so it requires your participation. So that's why I share this with you, so you know what is coming up and how you can leverage it and participate with the energy in order to receive the support that's available for you. So I hope that helps understand. If you have any questions about how this works, let me know. As most of you know, my name is Megan Alton, and let's just dive right in. So June, I'm coming on the last day of May to share the June energy because I am so pumped about June. June is 2 energy. It is all about connection, collaboration. It's a coming together energy. It is a bridging energy. It is about receiving. It is about coming together with the problem and the solution to create opportunities. It is about bringing resources and people together. It is about coming together with opportunities and experiences to create something. And one of my favorite aspects of 2 energy is the connection that is possible between us and the universe, source energy, the unseen realm, whatever you want to call it. You will feel deeply supported this month if you are open to receiving that support. Your intuition will be on fire. So intuition will speak differently to different people. It can look like synchronicities. It can look like seeing number patterns on the clock. Comment if you're one of those people who sees numbers everywhere, right? It can look like, you're thinking about someone and then they all of a sudden text you or give you a phone call. Or it can be about noticing how you have set certain intentions in motion, certain actions in motion, and you're going to receive divine guidance and feedback about that. It requires you to be open. Intuition is something we all have access to, but it's something where we need to participate in it. Right? We need to be open to receive it. We need to slow down enough and be open-minded and open-hearted enough to receive and experience the messages. So, first off, on this beautiful 2 energy month, give yourself some space. Don't overbook yourself. Don't jam in 10,000 things. And you know what? Some of us do have a busy calendar, and that's okay. I was just messaging with a dear friend of mine earlier today, and she's like, I've kind of heavy loaded June so that I can take some time off in July. And if you've done so, amazing. However, be sure to give yourself space and time to decompress. Take those walks in nature, go down to the beach, sit and drink your coffee in quiet stillness on the deck or on your front porch or in your garden, and let there be some stillness and some quiet. Don't fill your space up with, podcasts and YouTubes and music, and those things are great. And if you feel the need to have them, that's great. But give yourself some devoted time in stillness and in silence, because your intuition is going to be firing hot, right? So you need to be able to hear it. And if your head is full of other noises, you're not going to hear it. Beautiful. Hello, Robin. I'm so glad you're here with me. Seeing repeat numbers this week. Beautiful. You're already feeling the beautiful June energy start to move in. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You guys have heard me talk about 2021 being the year of the intuitive. And so if this is something that resonates with you, this month is going to be important for you. Different ideas that you have been working on for a while are going to start to draw in opportunities, resources, partners, connections, brainstorming and masterminding so that these ideas can begin to snowball. Okay. But before the snowball happens, it's that resource connection and gathering. So if you have been feeling that for a while, keep your eye open for who are the people who, when we share these conversations and these ideas, I find myself lit up. I find those like sparks of delight, those sparks of inspiration. I feel excited and driven. Lean into those people. Where are the places that you might hang out where you feel those sparks of inspiration and those ideas downloading? If it's, I feel them when I'm exercising, I feel them in the shower or in the bathtub or whatever that is for you. Devote some time to that. Book it into your calendars. When I go through the calendar, I'll give you some special days where you will want to be more aware of taking some time. And just allow yourself to open your heart a little bit this month. That would be kind of my high level. If you take one thing away from today's forecast is be heart connected. Be heart connected. And, how do we do that, right? Like, what if you actually just like place your hand on your heart every day or whenever you think about it and just let yourself feel into that for a minute and be like, what would I love to do right now? What would I love to experience right now? What would set my heart on fire with delight and pleasure and bliss right now? And let yourself do it. Just let yourself do it. Give yourself permission to lean into your heart's desires this month and see what happens. The things you love are not an accident. The things you love you. The things you love, you're meant to love. The things you love, you're meant to lean into. So let yourself do that and see what comes out of it. Let yourself play with that and see what evolves. Okay. Let me know if anyone's going to take on that little exercise, little challenge, leaning into your heart's delight every day, putting your hand on your heart. Let me know if you're going to try that. I think it would be a really fun little experiment to play this month. Okay, so tomorrow we start the month off on a 3 energy day. And, what's going to really happen this month is we're going to be moving through this arc of energy, which is going to be all about what are you creating? What is the legacy you're building? We are in a new manifestation cycle. I talked about that last month. We are in a new manifestation cycle this month, which is all about building a legacy and creating a legacy of play, of freedom, of bliss, of joy, of just like heart-centered love and fun and connection. Like, can you let yourself have that beautiful heart-centered feeling? Can you let yourself create a legacy of your life that creates more opportunity for those heart-opening experiences? I kind of want to say that again. Can you let yourself build a legacy that lets you have more of those heart-opening experiences every single day? Can you give yourself permission to receive that level of bliss and joy and peace and gratitude every single day? Can you let yourself have bliss and joy and delight and pleasure daily? Can you? Can you let yourself have that? And this is a question to sit with. This is definitely a question to sit with because, as I mentioned last month, many of us get kind of addicted to the struggle without realizing it, right? And in order to change that, it's like, how do we become more accustomed to experiencing joy and bliss in our bodies versus the struggle and the overwhelm, right? It's a recalibration. It is a recalibration, right? It really, really is. Okay, so on Wednesday, the second of the month, we are going to be asking to create some discipline and structure based on our intuition and our felt sense. And as I was really leaning into this forecast this month, you guys, this is the energy of the year and of the month coming together in such a beautiful way. I got this like visual of a game of cards. Okay, so remember when you were a kid playing memory or those matching games where you'd flip the cards over until you got a matching set, right? And it's like, you know, my kids have a version that's got like all the Sesame Street characters. It's like you flip it over and you get like Grover and Oscar the Grouch, and you're like, nope, you want to try to get 2 Grovers, okay? Imagine you use this month to play with that with your emotions of what you're currently experiencing and the vision of your life you truly desire, okay? So we all have a vision of a life we want that includes experiencing our top values on a daily basis. So for me, that looks like adventure, freedom, connection, pleasure, delight, play, right? All of these kinds of things. So every day, if I'm playing that matching game, what I'm going to notice is, ooh, my vision includes freedom. In this very moment, I'm feeling freedom. Ding, 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 I got a match, right? Ooh, my vision includes pleasure. In this very moment, I'm experiencing pleasure. Like ding, 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 I got another match, okay? So this is the matching game, is like, this doesn't have to be so hard and serious. We do not have to feel like this is work and we're going to sit down and focus on the yoga mat. And I mean, if that works for you and that feels like fun and pleasure, like do it. But it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be struggle. It shouldn't be forcing. It should be delightful. The process should be delightful, and you should feel led by your heart and your pleasure to experience it. And if you're not, which I get, because last month I had felt some kind of like, God, why am I not lit up by my own practices anymore? Why am I not? And when that happens, especially right now, we are being asked to reinvent it. To reinvent it, your practices should experience a match with your values as much as the outcomes of the practices do. Okay? So you want to play that matching game as much as you can and be like winning when you get a match. Okay? So the next important energy that's going to come along is going to hit on the 8th of the month. Okay? So next Tuesday. And this is really all about seeking out the seeds you want to plant that are being noticed in your intuition. Okay, so what I mean by that is when you're getting these like sparks of ideas or these intuitive hits, or, you know, the phone call, or the, you know, like something happens and you're like, ooh, and you just feel this like burst of energy, plant seeds for that starting on Tuesday, the 8th of the month. Plant seeds that are going to ground that. Make the phone call, write it down, take the next step, you know, write the sales page, have the conversation, reach out to the connection, whatever you need to do. Let yourself plant some seeds to actually create momentum towards that thing turning into a thing, right? And do it based on following your heart's guidance, based on following the like, ooh, this is fun, this is exciting, ooh, what's going to happen next? Ooh, let me try this thing. This is allowing me to feel expanded and empowered. I feel some matching happening in what I'm feeling and what I'm creating. This is beautiful. Let yourself follow that and plant those seeds. The 10th of the month, there is going to be this idea of this legacy of the things we are creating to be experiencing our values more frequently is going to come into play. So there's going to be some light being shed on the world you're attempting to create right now. You're going to receive evidence, messages, synchronicities that are going to show you, oh, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to go. Okay. So lean into that, particularly on the 10th, and celebrate. Take time to celebrate and acknowledge your wins, big or small, it doesn't matter. Right? So, you know, if you've set an intention, this is happening to me right now. I've set a couple of intentions in my life lately, and I'm noticing like teensy little breadcrumbs that these intentions are coming to be. And rather than looking at them and being like, oh, you know, kind of judging the evidence, like, oh, it's kind of small evidence, be like, no, it's evidence. Like, ooh, I wonder what might happen next. I wonder how this could grow and expand. Let me feel into this. Is it a match? If it is, and continue to grow and pay attention. This is the thing. This whole idea of paying attention, it is a form of investing. It's a form of investing energetically, right? Which is no different than investing financially, investing monetarily. So when you pay attention to the evidence, the little tiny little breadcrumbs, you're investing in that experience. You're allowing that experience to appreciate, to expand, to grow. Your attention is just as valuable as a financial investment, if not more valuable, right? When I talk about investment, we have 3 ways of investing. Number 1, with money, right? Which is mostly the most traditional way of investing. People think, well, if I'm going to invest, I invest with money. That's only one, though. The other way is with time. When I spend my time on something, I am investing in it, right? So spend your time on things that you want to grow, expand, and appreciate this month. Spend your time wisely on the things that are being called to within your heart, right? And then the third way is with our energy. So what are you paying attention to? What are you investing your energy in? That is going to expand and appreciate and grow. So be sure, again, that it's a match to the vision of the life you're creating and what you want to be experiencing in your business, in your personal life, wherever, right? So that was the 10th of the month. Pay attention, invest in the things you want to grow and expand. On the 17th of the month, we are going to be really noticing this bridging energy. Okay, so this bridging energy is this whole idea of coming together, of creating a bridge between either 2 people or resources and assets or whatever it is. There's going to be a coming together energy. So because there's going to be this coming together energy, the way you approach situations on the 17th or around the 17th of the month is going to be really important. You want to be recognizing, where am I experiencing a heart match? Like this felt sense, values-based alignment with the people, the resources, the opportunities, and the experiences in my world. And how do I continue to bridge that? How do I make bridges between the resources and the opportunities I want to create in my life? So this is maybe a great time to reach out to a person and build a friendship, build a relationship, and build a connection. This is maybe a great time to, is there a resource you need in your business? Like maybe you need to open up a new bank account that's going to allow you to transfer funds more effectively. Maybe you need to improve your budgeting system and you need to bring in a software or an app or something to give you some better opportunities and resources with the evidence that you see. Maybe this is a time to bring in a bookkeeper or a personal assistant or a virtual assistant that can help bridge the gap with some of the challenges and actually bring you closer to some resources and opportunities, okay? So the 17th is all about bridging energy. And the 20th of the month, you guys, this is big. It's going to be solstice energy. So, this day really came to me around allowing the sun to set on some of the old leadership models, and instead really investing your energy into the heart-based, felt sense, collaborative, cohesive, community-based ways of leading. Now, this is like things like consensus building. This is things like coming together and having a sense of compassion and wanting to hear perspectives that differ from your own to create bridges. So starting on the solstice, this energy is going to be very, very strong. And, honestly, like we need this. The time is now for us to have this bridging, open-hearted conversation where we're not so worried about who's got it right and who's got it wrong. We're actually more aware of, can I understand your perspective? And can I hear you? And can I feel heard? And do I feel welcome to share my perspective? And can we come at this from a place of compassion, love, and understanding and bridging versus you against me, us versus them, which is a pushing away energy, like a right and a wrong energy. No, it's not about the outcome. It's not about the right or the wrong, who did it right, who did it wrong. It's about, can I hear you? Can I feel you? And can I also feel heard and feel felt? That makes sense. Can we come together with compassion, right? And this is going to show up in all aspects of life, personally, professionally, culturally, socially, in so many places. And so many people will say, well, how do you even do that? When the world around us feels like they're not coming from their heart, how do we come from our heart? That's just it. We don't get to choose how other people show up, but we do get to choose how we show up. So we get to choose to lead in an example of how we want to be led. And I remember, when I used to work in corporate, we talked about big L leadership and small L leadership. And big L leadership means you have a leader in your title, right? Like you're like in charge of something, the manager of this or the boss of that. That's big L leadership. Small L leadership, you may not have a big L in your name. You may not have a title of being a boss or a manager, but you get to be a leader in how you walk, in how you model, in how you show up in the world and day-to-day interactions you have. And some of these leaders, the small L leaders who show up in the energy of leadership, in an embodied leadership sense, are so influential and can actually have more influence than some of the people who actually like have the boss name, right? So I really invite you to think about, how can I show up in the energy of an embodied leader and just walk my walk and trust that in that there's an energetic, like you carry a bubble of energy with you everywhere you go. And through the law of entrainment, you actually influence the space and the energy around you. You influence how everyone you bump into on a daily basis is going to feel. Whether it's you see them virtually or in real life, like you're at the grocery store, you're picking the kids up from school, you have an in-person meeting, or whether you see them, on Zoom or online or on social media or through an email or, whatever it is, your energy bubble, when you charge it powerfully with where you're coming from your heart, through the law of entrainment. If you want to know more about this, just, Google the law of entrainment, or there's some great YouTube videos on it. You have the power to influence how these people are going to show up as well through your energy field. So the 20th of the month, the solstice, this is when this is going to be palpable. This is when you're going to be able to feel this very strongly, this whole idea of felt sense leadership, okay? Heart, compassion, community, consensus, collaborative, right? Wow, that was a lot of talk about the 20th. I hope some of that landed. Let me know in the comments what's kicking in for you, what you're feeling, what you're resonating with. The 24th of the month is the next important date. We've got full moon energy with an 8 energy day. And this is asking you to double down your devotion, your discipline, and your commitment. Double it down to your vision, right? This is when you get to go deep in your vision. This is when you get to not be distracted by shiny objects, not be distracted by, quick fixes, right? This is when you get to double down and go deep with your vision. And you will shed some of the experiences that are not a match and deepen your commitment to the vision of the world you're creating for you, your reality, right? And of course, we end the month on a 5 energy day, which I freaking love, because May also ended on a 5 energy day. Today is a 5 energy day. We end June on a 5 energy day. It's universally a 5 energy year. And all this is really telling us, no big deal. All this is really telling us is our pleasure is a priority. Our joy, our bliss is a priority. Choosing to live a life you love is radical. It's radical. It is a big freaking deal in a world that wants you to, can feel like it wants you to be in struggle, be in overwhelm, be in confusion, right? be pulled in multiple directions, for you to say, you know what, all that stuff is going along around me right now. And I'm going to choose to go into my heart instead. And I'm going to choose my rebellion to be that I am going to love my life. I freaking love my life. I challenge you to take that on as a mantra and an affirmation this month. I freaking love my life. Your life wants to be loved. The more you love it, the happier it's going to be, right? Our joy is a priority. It is. It is, it is, it is. And, you know, I really invite you to take that to heart this month and play with it. Experiment with it. Like, what have you got to lose, right? See what happens. See if you can feel into your heart daily, like we talked about in the beginning of this call. See if you can prioritize your joy. See if you can create little acts of rebellion by choosing pleasure and bliss above confusion, chaos, and struggle. How can you actively choose that more and more every day this month? Okay, that is my June energy forecast. I hope something landed for you. Comment in the comments, what's your number one takeaway? Are you going to take on any of these little challenges that I gave you today? I think I gave a few challenges. So if you're taking on any of them, let me know what they are in the comments. And I want you to circle back with me and let me know how it's going. Comment and let me know. I am going to definitely take this to heart. And, you know, this whole statement of I freaking love my life, it became something I started saying to myself on a regular basis about a year ago. And it's one of those things where it's where I pay attention, where I spend my time is going to create appreciation and growth and expansion. And so this has been something that's been really close to my heart over the last 12 months or so. And I love seeing that it's coming up as a key theme for the month of June, because it's been one of the most powerful things that have shifted my life. And I'd love to see how it affects yours. So comment, let me know, what's your takeaway? What are you going to do about it? Tag some friends who you think need to listen to this, and keep me posted as you try these little things going forward. I can't wait to see how it goes. And I hope that you have an amazing June. It's going to be blissful. Mwah.